Take a look at what the New York Times says. It calls it the demise of the Southern Democrat, saying, quote, in a region stretching from the high plains of Texas to the Atlantic coast of the Carolinas, Republicans would control not only every Senate seat, but every governor's mansion and every state legislative body. Mrs. Landrieu's defeat would essentially signify an end to the era of the Southern Democrats. So what happened? For a fair and balanced debate, let's go to Tammy Bruce, who's a radio talk show host and Fox News contributor, and David Mercer, former national finance director for the Democratic National Committee. Welcome both. Tammy, let me start with you.
Good to be with you.
So, I mean, what happened to the so-called Dixie Democrats? How did they become apparently such an endangered species?
Well, you know, I don't think it's just the Southern Democrats, Eric. I think that it's Democrats everywhere. Consider also Maryland and Illinois, what happened with those deep blue states going red also this last time around. But for Landrieu, this is very, very dramatic because her father was the mayor of New Orleans. Her brother is the mayor there now. It's really a dynasty in that area. But what this is really the demise of also is the Franklin Delano Roosevelt New Deal coalition, which was also based on the economy. It was big city machines, it was labor unions, it was minorities, and for the South, Southern whites. And those were groups that were really sectioned off because of the Depression from any real economic benefit. And when even then in the late 30s, when that started to fail economically, when they realized that the liberal economic agenda was not helping them, it began to fray, but then we had World War II. We now have this here where it's the same dynamic. There's an understanding that the economic dynamic that the liberals offer fails those members of that coalition, and it is beginning to fall apart. And this is going to have an impact on Democrats and already has nationwide, and it's going to be a very big change for the Democratic Party in 2016. I think this is it, and the Democrats are going to have to figure out how to handle it.
Yeah, David, is, as Tammy says, it for the Democratic Party?
No, it isn't. And I think, you know, if you look at 2016, when Republicans will have to defend 24 Senate seats, much like we did this year, and also with the Democrats only having 10 seats up for re-election, and 8 of those states Republicans will be defending will be in the South. So we'll see if this holds. You know, look, the Republicans have tried twice the last 2 cycles to get the Senate majority. They finally got it now on the third try. Good for them, but this is not over, and we're not ceding any part of the country going into 2016. And we will be fighting on behalf of middle-class working Americans to make sure that their wages are going up, that we see the kind of GDP growth that we have this quarter, 3.9%, that we're creating 300,000+ jobs
David,
a year, which on average the Bush administration was only creating 20,000 on average a month.
Well, you just ticked off some Democratic issues, but look at this map. I mean, take a look at this swath. We got a swath. Let's look at that swath. There's that swath. Look at all that red. Tammy, what is going on? If
You'll see the opposite in 2016.
Yeah. Oh, Tammy, will you? Do you think it'll flip?
Well, look, the Republicans are going to have to deliver. I mean, they've got a terrific opportunity to explain, especially one of the speeches I give to colleges is why the conservative ideal benefits minorities especially, is that this has got to be about entrepreneurship and end of regulations, getting the boot off of the neck of small business owners, allowing people to make money. I mean, it's minorities who start up the most small businesses in this country. This is the bailiwick of the Republicans, and they've got an opportunity to show it. The Democrats, David, you know, look, they've been in charge for 6 years now with the epitome of the liberal agenda, and it has destroyed wages. It has destroyed the future for people's families.
It's created jobs, Tammy, and economic growth is at 3.9%, which is way beyond what Bush was doing when he was president.
David, you don't need to yell. That's not going to help. That's not going to make it any more true.
I'm just making the points.
David, Tammy, and David, let me interrupt for a second, because David, what's interesting in this is the New York Times saying this, that the Democratic Party in the South, to some, has become, quote, more secular, and basically far too left. Do you think that's the case? Has the Democratic Party left some of our Southern citizens, or is that what happened under President Obama?
No, I do not think that's the case. And again, if you look at comparing what we're going to have to compare to 2016, you know, the African-American community, women, the youth vote, they don't turn out, or don't turn out at the levels that they do in a presidential election that we're going to see in 2016 with the Senate elections then. And you don't have that kind of turnout in 2014. And the map favored Republicans as it relates to red states, and if you want southern states. So
Eric,
you know, right now they got a lucky win on the fundamentals, but those fundamentals and dynamics are going to change in 2016, and you'll see that constituency turn out, and hopefully Republicans won't alienate them if they want to see any more gains.
All right, Tammy, you get the last word.
One last thing is that Hillary will not be able to rely on that Barack Obama coalition, which was a little bit of the FDR coalition. That's going to be gone, and I don't see her being able to appeal to Southerners or to African Americans in this country who both have been abandoned by the liberal agenda.
Wow, that's
and you and Republicans said that Obama wouldn't be the first black president, and he became president twice.
I don't know.
That's pretty strong. We do know this. Bill Clinton, who ruled Arkansas, is basically now Republican.
That's right.
Tammy and David, thank you so much.
Thanks, guys.
Good to be with you.
That was interesting. I was just about to pull out the popcorn. They were really going for it. It was good.